Lesson 93, Light and joy and peace abide in me. The most important part of this lesson is the first sentence. You think you are the home of evil, darkness, and sin. And right there is a sharp contrast between what we believe we are, bodies in a world, and what we are in truth. We are as God created us, which is full of light and peace and joy. What we have made ourselves to be by believing in separation, by identifying with the ego thought system, by perceiving ourselves as being bodies in a world, limited, vulnerable, sick, upset, terrified. That's not the truth in us. So this is not a message about what abides in a body. The experience, how you experience yourself, has no relationship to a body. You either experience yourself as separated or you experience yourself as one with God, truth, oneness, peace, and love. So that can be a very difficult idea for people to hear and read, and there may be a lot of resistance to this lesson on a lot of different levels. Number one, there might be denial that you think you're the home of evil, darkness, and sin. And then there might be denial on another level that you believe light and peace and joy could possibly abide in you. So there's a lot of different reactions that could come up. In order to really read this lesson and let it sink in and move past the self we made to a deep part of ourselves, there has to be trust. We have to trust Jesus, or we have to trust our guide, or the Holy Spirit, whatever you're comfortable calling the part of your mind that remembers the truth and represents that truth to you. The ego part of our mind is the part that tells us we're the home of evil, darkness, and sin. And even if it doesn't use that language, we are the home of mistakes, failures, disappointments, the home of loss being experienced and suffering being experienced. And the part of our minds that feels, the ego thought system is the part of our mind that feels bereft, that does not remember God, that does feel that we're just in a world and God is either dead or disinterested in our lives because we seem to exist at the whim of circumstances that are outside of our control. This is a wonderful lesson to carry with us every day, to remind our mind that there is another way of being. What I have chosen to be, what I have identified with, what I would defend with my very life is not what I want. In order to have any motivation to learn what we really are, we have to look directly at what we believe we are without blinders on, without rose-colored glasses, that there could be something lovely here. There's nothing lovely in separation. There's nothing lovely in duality. All of the loveliness is in truth. When we deny that truth, we experience ugliness. That can be really, really a comforting thought if we're ready to let it go. If we're not ready to let it go, that's okay, because we're accepted where we are. Only the ego judges and only the ego condemns. So if we're not ready to hear this lesson and there's a lot of resistance that pops up and we don't do it, we don't do as he asks us to or suggests, that's okay, because the most important part of the lesson is forgiveness. And how do we forgive ourselves? We look and we wait and we quietly do nothing. We don't try to fix anything. If we don't remember, we say, oh, that's very important information. I didn't remember to do it because I'm resistant. So we don't blame anything in the world for what we experience. We don't blame anything in the world for our choices. But a part of our minds know, light and peace and joy abide in me. And we remind ourselves of that as often as we can. Thank you.